locked outside in the snow without his shirt and pant because he was in the sauna and he was locked outside and he did not have a key to his room. So I went to help him. uh, So I went to help him to get back into his room. Well, what is the purpose of enlightenment? Why should we even be talking about enlightenment? Why should we be on this call? There are so many questions that people do not have answers for. But the fact of the matter is that life is not easy. The journey of life is very difficult. People don't understand who are we, why are we alive, what are we doing. Today's topic, for example, why are we even talking? Why are we even on this Zoom call? And I sometimes wonder, are people even wanting to know what is life? What is the purpose of life? Why did we come to earth? Why this human birth? Is it not certain that death is going to happen? Death is around the corner. What is death? What happens after death? Oh, are we going to just continue to believe that God lives in the skies and believe in the lies? Are we going to just follow our religion? And are we going to fight with each other? Are we going to live with anger, hate, greed, revenge, jealousy? Are we going to live with guilt and fear and stress and worry and anxiety and regret? When are we going to get out? How are we going to live? What is the purpose? Let us get into our questions. The subject of today's discussion, Tanu's already put her hand up, but the subject of today's discussion is, can a person be born enlightened? So I'm going beyond this topic, right? I'm asking you the question, do we even need enlightenment? Some people, they think, what is the need? There is no need. Why are we wasting our time? They don't even realize that the people who are just living and they just die, they live and they die, they don't understand who am I, and then they suffer. You ask anybody, would you like to suffer? You ask somebody, I will take a torch of fire and burn you. Are you ready? I will burn you. They'll say, oh, what do you mean? How cruel of you to even say that. Yeah, but we are burning ourselves. So, my dear friends, there needs to be clarity about life. And today's question, can a child be born enlightened? Rutanu and Lakshmi. Rutanu.
Shivoham, Guruji.
Shivoham, bolo.
Guruji, we cannot be born enlightened, because if we got enlightenment, then we will not be born only. We will be one with God and we will be happy.
आप क्या क्या कभी कभी अमृत पी के आते हैं, कभी कभी you drink nectar of enlightenment and you come on the call. Sometimes your answers are amazing. At least this is the third or fourth time your answer is to the point. Amazing answer, to the point. I don't need to continue the discussion. Ruth Anu says, if there was enlightenment, then where is the question of being born? But there are some people who are enlightened and they are born. Then what happens? Why is somebody born after getting enlightenment? I'm giving you a twisting question. So you have got one question answer. So she says, can a person be born enlightened? No. No question of being born enlightened. How can you be born enlightened? A lot of people, they even give the example of the Buddha. Was the Buddha born enlightened? Anybody? Was the Buddha born enlightened? No. He was born with a prophecy, that he will become a king of kings. Now, we don't know true or false. I am not going to get into that, because who was alive 2,000 years ago? But my dear friends, please scratch your head and take this whole subject today of enlightenment. Don't restrict yourself, can a person be born enlightened? But please ask yourself the question, are you enlightened? And don't think being enlightened means, just like saying, are you enlightened means, are you Narendra Modi? No, everybody cannot be Narendra Modi. Can everybody be Narendra Modi? Can everybody be Bill Gates? Can everybody be Ambani? Can everybody be Adani? No, it's not possible. There is one in millions, one in billions, one in billions, not millions, one in billions. But how do you reach this enlightenment? Do you really want enlightenment? How much do you want enlightenment? Is enlightenment a time pass? For many people, enlightenment, thoda time pass karte hain. Come on, thoda bahut time pass karte hain. Let me know your thoughts on enlightenment. Come on. Today we are going to get into a very macro subject, Prema, on enlightenment. Who's going? Who's giving us your gyan? Do something. Yogini.
Shivoham, sir.
Shivoham.
Sir, person being born, that itself explains that he's come back with his me, the mind and the ego.
Correct.
So,
therefore?
So when he is coming back with the mind and ego, how will he be born enlightened? Maybe further he has done some good karmas for which he will get the path, like how we all are on the path. But being born enlightened is not easy.
So I reject your question with a question. I reject your explanation with a question. Suppose Komal Yogini is 90% enlightened and she doesn't get 100% enlightened and she dies. Then will she be born 0% enlightened?
There are chances that she will come back with that 10% of her good.
No, she is 90% enlightened. Suppose she is 99% enlightened. Then what happens?
Then too, you're not enlightened. You have to be 100%.
So will you be born 99% enlightened?
No, sir.
Then you will be born 0% enlightened?
Yes, because no, not 0%. Not 0%. Because I will die with 99% enlightenment. So I might come back.
So this is where this is where the point is, we have to be very clear. Yogini.
Yes, sir.
Clarity, enlightenment is clarity, which means there is no confusion. There is a conclusion. The problem is, when I look at it, let me tell you, my dear friends, one point I'll tell you. Enlightenment is not so difficult. Enlightenment is not so complicated. And enlightenment is beautiful. It is so beautiful because in enlightenment, you are liberated from the triple suffering on earth. What a beautiful, there are people who are living with fear, with worry, with stress, with anxiety, with greed, with guilt, with shame, with regret, with worry, with stress, with anxiety. There are people who are living. Oh.
That is due to ignorance.
Because of not enlightenment and not being enlightened. There is so much trauma. There is so much trauma because we don't realize life is a drama.
Correct.
In my life, in the last 2 months, I must have had full dose of trauma, full dose, not half dose, full dose. Then.
But you didn't slip, no, sir. That's
because of Chit Pragya. See, let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. One man wrote to me that I am going to make your fake videos and expose you. Otherwise, you have to pay me 20 crores. How would you all behave if you got somebody sending you 100 messages like this? He's saying you have
Thanks.
to give me 20 crores or I will be making some fake videos of yours. I will be spoiling your image. How would you behave? I told
Thanks.
that. I just told that man. I didn't even tell that man. I blocked him, which means go to hell. Which means go to hell. And the chapter is closed. Is it easy? You see, today, in today's world, in today's world, I can show Girish with a French woman sitting in Paris tomorrow. I can show it. Anything is possible today. Girish will say, but I never went to Paris. I never went to Paris. Who's this friend? That doesn't matter. For the moment, Girish's photograph is on the front page with a French girl sitting in Paris. Then what do? Enlightenment tells you, Are, chodo na. Enlightenment tells you, ye leela hai maya, kuch bhi sach to na. You cannot lose your peace. If you lose your peace, then nothing, your life itself is me. What is the use of living? Some people, they are living such stressed out life, anxious life. Oh my God. Like somebody's pulling hair like this, somebody's pulling hair like this. Then they don't know which side to, because hair. No, this is because we are not enlightened. If you are enlightened, very simple, Girish next and Rajinder next. If you are enlightened, you will know the truth about life. What is the simple truth? I am soul. Soul is sip. I am sip in all.
Correct.
What more you want to worry? What more you want to worry?
But still we are carrying the RDX in hand and moving, no, sir.
Not only RDX, you are carrying RDX, you are reacting, you are exploding, and you are destroying, first of all. Then you are carrying fear. How many of you carried fear of coronavirus? Oh, I can tell. How many of you carried fear of coronavirus? I did not. I did not carry. I went for 50 retreats during COVID. 50 retreats. There were some people, they were not wearing one mask. One mask, two masks, three masks, and then on top of that, one more cloth, like a what they call Phulan Devi. In India, there's a bandit called Phulan Devi. Phulan Devi, you can only see like this, only the eyes, nothing more. Like Batman, like that, the Batwoman. So today I'm trying to get you all to the essence, my dear friends. Enlightenment is needed. Nothing else is needed. I'm telling you, if you are enlightened, you are blissful, you are peaceful, you have reached the destination. If you're not enlightened, this is the call today. Find out what is holding you back. Yesterday, we spoke of puppets. Can you be a puppet and reach the summit? We spoke of it. Oh, my dear friends, I struggled and I'm here because I've already struggled. Now it's for you. You also want to struggle like me, or you want to find the simple answer and then not struggle. Girish.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir.
This Jalma, birth, is the effect. Earlier Jalma is the cause of that.
Correct.
When the body dies in earlier Jalma, only two things were possible. Either I am enlightened or yummy takes forward karma, which takes a body during this birth. So in case I am enlightened during last Jalma, when the body dies, there is no yummy, there is no karma. Cause, I am out of this cause and effect.
What about that person who was enlightened and then lost his enlightenment?
He is not fully enlightened.
No, fully. Suppose I'm telling you,
has not happened. So he slipped away.
Without meaning any bad intention, I always give the example of Osho. I give an example. If you listen to Osho, Osho's talks are, some of the talks are superb. Superb. I don't know how many, some of his talks are superb. How did such a man then slip? Girish, you have any idea? You are saying he was not enlightened? This is what your logic is?
I do not know.
So Girish, because he's not a man who lived 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. He's a man probably in the last century. You please listen to some of his talks. Not all of his talks. Some of his talks are after he fell down. So I don't want, some vulgar talks are there, some very vulgar talks are there. I'm not talking of those. But I'm saying, you know, you must listen to an interview of Ma Sheila. Ma Sheila was his secretary. And there's some very good interviews. I think the good interview of Ma Sheila is with Ranveer. There's an interview of Ma Sheila with Ranveer. If those of you who want to learn about Osho. And she explains how she calls him Bhagwan. And how an enlightened person, I'm not worried about Osho. I'm worried about you and me. I'm only worried about you and me. How we can be enlightened and how we can slip. You know the meaning of slip? Are you telling me that nobody can slip?
Bhoga.
It is very easy, Girish. From yoga to bhoga, only the Y has to become B. Only the Y has to become B. Bhoga, that's all. So Girish, continue if you have something more to say, Girish.
So, if I was enlightened during my last Jalma, this Jalma would not have become possible at all. Because
logically, yes. Logically, yes. Except if you slipped. So
unless and until it is 100% complete, 100% never reached.
My dear
Can't we
Girish,
take that in that manner?
Let me correct you, Girish. There is nobody in this world who can be called 100% enlightened. Can you tell me why, Girish? Who can tell me? Who's the master in this call? Who can tell me why there is nobody in this world who can be called 100% enlightened? Why?
Immediately on such an event, he will leave the body.
No, because he may still have some prarabdha to complete. But why there is nobody in this world who can be called 100% enlightened? Who has the answer? Ask me, Girish. Don't forget to ask me before the end of the call. Well, see, I'll tell you something. This Zoom call, I don't think there can be a bet. I told you all there are so many masters on this call. So many masters. Many, many, many masters. And sometimes some masters don't talk whole call. They just listen. I wish they talk. I wish every master should talk in this call because every master contributes your thoughts. If you are not talking on the call, you're depriving others of your thoughts. And don't worry whether your thought is right or wrong. It hardly matters, but you must contribute. Rajendra.
Shivam, Guruji.
Shivam, sir.
If we are on the path of realization, there are three chances. Either I will be enlightened,
Right.
probably not reborn, which I am not clear so far, or I will be partly enlightened, or I will slip back. Whatever the quantum of the slip will be, that will be there. But my problem is that when we are again born, what will be the status of that? Whatever I have achieved in this birth, how it will be carried forward to my next birth?
Everything
That part of my enlightenment
is very clear. It's very clear. Please pay attention. It's very clear. Rajendra, everything is packaged. Everything is packaged in your karma. Now, for example, let me tell you. Suppose I'm asking you a question. I was lucky to meet a guru, my guru. Tell me why I was lucky. Can you tell me, can you guess why I was lucky?
because of karma.
Only because of karma. There is no other possibility. Maybe in my previous janma, I was very close to enlightenment and I missed, I slipped. I might have fallen from the mountain top to the bottom. I'm telling you, being enlightened with the truth, I speak to hundreds of people. So many people are interested. So many people are interested. I can speak to some people have talked to me for 5 years, and at the end of 5 years, खोपड़ी में नहीं जाता, अंदर नहीं जाता. This khopadi, na? This khopadi. Do I have time today to do some time pass? But one very good, very good story I got. Let me tell you who's next. Next is Subinay Chidanand Bliko. Let me tell you a quick story. A beggar went to a king. A beggar went to a king. Edu, have I told you all this story? And he took a small begging pot to the king and told the king, I have come to take something from you. So the king said, give him whatever he wants. The beggar said, no. I want to warn you. I want to warn you that this begging bowl cannot be filled. How much ever you put in this begging bowl, it will keep on sucking. The king said to his soldiers, hey, put gold and diamonds in the bloody begging bowl. So they put gold and diamonds in the begging bowl. How much ever gold and diamonds they keep putting in the begging bowl, it's not getting filled. Anybody knows the story? After this, he kept on putting. The king brought folded hands and said, my dear Swami, you are a learned Swami. You seem to be tell me the story. Tell me the secret. The man told, there's no secret. Let me tell you. What? He said, I was walking by a graveyard. I was walking by a cemetery, and there I was looking for a begging bowl. I found the skull of a man. I picked the skull of the man. This is the skull of the man. The skull of a man is never satisfied. Jitna bhi dalo andar, aur chahiye, aur I want more. This is a skull of a man. It will never be full. It is just an analogy. Are you getting what analogy I'm saying? It's not obviously the skull of the man. But look at the beauty of the story. So be very clear that, enlightenment is not difficult. Enlightenment needs commitment. The reward is beautiful. The reward is more than anything in this world. Today, if you tell me, give up the enlightenment, I'll give you 20,000 crores. I don't want. I'll make you the richest man in the world, give enlightenment. I will not give up my enlightenment. I'll make you the president of all the countries in the world. I'm not interested. This is priceless, my dear friends. I can tell you because I've experienced it. It is priceless. Subinay Chidanand Bliko.
Guruji Pranam.
Namaskar.
Guruji, there's a very specific, it's not a question, it's just my thought. I just wanted to share it with you. Why we are so much attached to our attachments. Attachment doesn't mean materialistic. Attachment, what I mean to say is our thought process, our believing. We are not able to unlearn the things. We are attached to our memories. So one thing I realized that still, until and unless we attain enlightenment, we all are Duryodhan. Duryodhan is that person who said to Lord Krishna that don't teach me what is right or wrong. I know what is right, but still I am unable to control myself. So Guruji, how to control this thing and how to be detached with our attachments of memories and belief system and conditioning?
You are not present for the session. All the people in the session know the answer. Bliko, you know the answer, Bliko? Let Bliko give the answer. You don't switch off your audio. So, but let me see the Bliko, you know the answer, Bliko? How to get the enlightenment to be free from all this? Bliko, you know the answer? Bliko, unmute Bliko. Let me see if Bliko knows the answer.
Shivam, everybody.
Shivam, what is the answer?
Yeah, answer is that when you understand this, everything is Lila and Maya, nothing is true, then you will have no detachment, no attachment to anything.
But he
Because you
wants a
naturally
solution.
detach.
He wants a solution. Chidanand, before you think your mic is on, please hang on to because with your Chidanand, you know the answer, Chidanand?
Yeah, in ignorance only there is attachment. Once you remove the ignorance, attachment is not there at all.
See, the problem is that this is what happens to many of us. We are connected to this wisdom for a little while. Like Chidanand and Bliko, they are connected to this wisdom for some time. Then you disconnect and you go to the other world. By the time you come back to this world, you forget. So Vinay, the answer, all these people know, which their memory doesn't. See, another good session we should have. Why we have no control of our memory? Please make note. Maybe tomorrow we will have this. Why we have no control of our memory? I will give the session maybe tomorrow. So Vinay, the answer is called, these people know, they have forgotten. This answer is called, Shair bolna hai? Shair ko bolna hai. One more chance. हाँ बोलो शायर. शायर. हाँ.
सर मन का की लेना है, मंकी को monk बना देना है.
Correct. लेकिन इसका full answer नहीं है. The full answer is called, Krishna wants to say. Okay, Krishna, come on, try. They were putting hand up means I have to stop. Yes, Krishna, tell me.
Cut the strings. We are becoming puppets. Cut
Yeah,
the
but
strings.
even you were, I think you were also not there in the session which I gave the answer. This answer is called magic. This answer is called magic. Magic means mumukshutvam. Vinay, you don't know the meaning of magic. If you want to reach that enlightenment state free from attachments, you want to be in that state. M is mumukshutvam, have yearning for the divine. A is ask questions. G is G, grace of the God and guidance of the Guru. I is you must overcome ignorance with intelligence, your intellect. And C is you must be in consciousness. The way to enlightenment is called magic. So Vinay, you must capture this and later you can get the detail from our team. But the way is called magic. Come on, Bliko, Chidanand, Krishna and Rajesh, if this is the order of your would like to speak. Bliko.
So the question was, when once you fully enlighten, there is a chances that you might slip from the path and sink, yes. Right? Because yes. there is as long as your prarabdha is there, your body will still continue, and you will have the interaction with sansar, and there is chances of you might lose that, because if you are not in yoga, there is a chances of bhoga can take over if you are not alert. So you have to be alert and you have to be always in yoga, so that, and you have to preserve that precious state of enlightenment. Then only at the end you will get liberated.
Correct.
When the body is not there.
Correct.
So that is the reason why after so many enlightened people, at the end sometime they fell down, they slipped from the path, and they are lost their enlightenment and they don't get liberation.
It's very common.
Yes.
Don't think that just knowledge will give you liberation.
No.
If many people, they have got this ghamand. Ghamand means pride. Oh, I know everything. What you know everything? It is not about knowing. It is about anubhuti. When you realize, you don't have to memorize. When you realize, there is no need to analyze. But this treasure, I'm telling you, the treasure of enlightenment is too precious. It's too rare. It's too difficult. It's not, it's very easy. It is very easy. But the price to pay is complete commitment and dedication and sincerity to this. But we are not able to give that, because what he said, Shair came and told, because of monkey. What the Shair told? Shair told correct answer. Monkey. Monkey means your man ki ki. He has two words. Man ki means the monkey mind. Or your man ka ki. What is the man ka ki? Man ka ki is reaching that state of consciousness. Are you able to become the master of the mind? Are you able to become a monk? Can you still the mind? Oh, the reward is super. Chidanand. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mikko.
Shivam
Chidanand,
Guruji.
sure.
Basically, if you get moksha only, then there is no rebirth. Enlightenment doesn't guarantee you, because at the last moment also you can slip. Even in the
Correct.
last breath, you can slip, and the last
Correct.
thought can bring you back into the samsara. Secondly,
Absolutely.
moment you may be enlightened to the last breath, because in Shastras there's a story of Jadbharat also, who came back, was fully enlightened, saw a deer, took a pity on the deer, and then he got stuck with the deer, and he had to take command also. It is a question of moksha and not enlightenment. Second, are you born enlightened? The normal jiva is not born enlightened, but avtaras or saints, they say that they come for a particular purpose, they do their job and go away.
Chidanand,
So
Chidanand, don't get into mythology, Chidanand. Don't get into that, because then you can't explain that. There is
that cannot be explained, but a normal jiva cannot explain.
No, this avatara, then everybody becomes avatara. Then the whole problem starts. Then comes all your avatars, then becomes, don't get into that. Chidanand, you are an avatara. You don't know that you are an avatar? You are such a believer. When you are such a believer of Aham Brahmasmi, now you are telling avatar means you are contradicting your own belief system. Sorry to say, don't be clear about it.
Okay.
You get my point. See when you're saying,
yes,
you're saying avatar means what you're saying. Somebody is born special. No, Chidanand. If we are born because of karma. If there's no karma, we become one with the divine. There is no diluting of the subject. The problem is when you start diluting, when the minute you bring this avatar into the system, no, Chidanand, then there are 100 myths that you have to believe in. Then Rama Janma Bhumi, and then Krishna Janamashmi, and then there are avatars, and then how many avatars of Vishnu and how many avatars of Shiva, and then that will go on, and then finished.
It is all in Dvaita. Yes, you're right.
So let's stay out of it. Okay, I hope you agree. Then we will not get lost in that.
Correct.
Krishna, thank you. Krishna. Yes, Krishna.
Good evening. Yeah. The question of why we slip even after being enlightened, is that the question?
No, we have gone many questions today. The first question is, can somebody be born enlightened? Then the second question came, if we are enlightened, then will we be reborn?
I didn't know the answer. I was thinking it was another tricky question of you. All the soul is born, because you always gave a different, definition of birth. So you said the soul is born, your birth date is different. So I was thinking it's a tricky question again. Maybe the soul is born enlightened. Okay, now I got the answer of that.
See, if you are enlightened, chances are you will not slip. A truly enlightened, like Girish told, the truly enlightened person will be a real fool to slip. But we can slip from yoga into bhoga. If we slip from yoga into bhoga, then even though we are enlightened, we will not have liberation and unification. There will be mukti, but there will be no moksha. You are very clear about this?
It is clear, yes.
Yeah. So this is the general discussion. To this discussion and to the discussion of you getting enlightenment, and if something's holding you back, this is where we are standing.
Yeah, because I think the enlightenment, no, there is no clear definition for an enlightenment. You must go within and find out where the block system or where you are blocked. And I think sometimes we control.
There is clear definition of enlightenment.
No, for anybody to, measure my enlightenment, only I know my enlightenment.
There is no measure of enlightenment.
So if we think that a particular person, if Osho is enlightened, God alone knows how much enlightened he was, in fact. And
let me tell you. Can you make out the fruit is guava or mango? Can you make out, or you cannot make out?
Yes, you can make out.
How you can make out?
Its texture, its color.
No.
Shape.
No. Not texture, color, and shape. By eating it.
Yes.
Not texture, color, and
Right,
shape.
right.
When you eat it, you can say it's even a blind man who doesn't even know the texture, color, and shape. By eating, he knows it's a guava or it's a mango.
Yes, yes.
So when you taste a person, you can
Right.
taste a person's enlightenment. And
Right.
that is only our own individual judgment. For example, when I was with my master, could I taste his enlightenment? I could taste his enlightenment because there was no question which he could not answer.
Right.
He was an enlightened master because of his great wisdom. He had huge amount of wisdom. That is a sign of an enlightened master. An enlightened master is enlightened because he has realized the truth. The moment a person is enlightened, then he has that anubhuti, he has that experience. There is no need for him to, he doesn't have any need to gain any knowledge. He doesn't need to go back to college. He finished. But he's constantly refreshing himself. He's constantly in yoga. He's constantly connected to the divine. But you can taste enlightenment. You can
Okay.
taste it.
Okay. Agreed. Yes.
And you have to keep on working towards that level where
Right.
this, what we are talking new, ISIS, this should become very clear.
Right.
I try, you know what I try to do on these Zoom calls? I try to make it so clear. I try to make it so clear, a child of 10-year-old, you should be able to make to explain and understand.
Yeah.
Our new book is called Spirituality for Children. That book will get published in 1 month. Why? We want, it's simple. Like I'm telling you that our birthday is fake. Is it a difficult thing to understand? It's so simple. Still, we all color. Today we cut a cake of a 40-year-old person today. 40-year-old person cutting cake today. Also, it happened. 40 years. 40 years. After 40 years, still we are cutting cake. Rekha Parwani. Thank you, Rekha Parwani.
Shivoham AiR.
Shivoham.
Does an enlightened person slip because of karma or choice?
An enlightened person can slip not because of past karma. An enlightened person can slip because of agami karma, because of the present karma, which is a choice. Because when a person is enlightened, then that person has already passed all the past karma.
Yes.
If that person's past karma was so bad, that person would not have reached enlightenment.
Correct.
So a person is enlightened means all the prarabdha karma or the past karma is complete. Now the problem with the person is he is living in a Navadwara Nagari. He's living in a body with 5 senses. He is living with a mind. The mind still exists. Living with the ego. Attachments. Oh, this is my daughter. This is my daughter. My daughter is not well. So how can I come to Zoom call? Finished na? Ho gaya na? Attachment ho gaya na? So the problem is body, mind, ego. We have to live as a yogi means you go above the body, mind, ego. You are liberated in that sense. That's why it's called Jivan Mukta. A Jivan Mukta is mukt. You know, it's not easy. I'm telling you, anybody can slip. Anybody can slip. And you will slip in such a way you will not even know it is. You will slip and you will think it is sip. Huh? You will slip and you will think it is sip. No, you have to be cautious. You have to be very clear.
Yes.
Who else would like to give comments before we close? Rumata ji, aap silent hai itne din se.
Thank you, AiR.
Thank you. Rumata ji, kahan hai aap? Bangalore mein, kahan hai aap? Rumata ji. You can unmute her. है बोल सकते हैं आप? कहाँ हैं आप?
दिल्ली।
दिल्ली हाँ। क्या हो रहा है? किसी को एनलाइटनमेंट दे रहे हैं दिल्ली में आप?
खुद का ही छूटा पड़ा है
खुद का छूट गया क्यों? क्या हुआ? दिल्ली में क्या फंस गए हैं क्या?
नहीं, वो राजस्थान में कनेक्ट ही नहीं होता था।
तो लोगों का क्या हाल है? राजस्थान, दिल्ली में लोग एनलाइटेंड है?
हाँ है, सभी है अम्मी नहीं है
so so sometimes when you reach an aura of people, then you get confused कि मेरा सोचना सही है, इनका सोचना सही है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
Okay. Anybody has a last question before I close? So, my dear friends, I'll give you a chance to speak, but otherwise I'm winding up the session. Today's session was on enlightenment. Enlightenment is our ultimate goal. It's the third and ultimate peak of happiness. Enlightenment is not achievement. Enlightenment is not fulfillment. Enlightenment is the highest peak of happiness, not pleasure, not peace. It is when you achieve your purpose of life. When you come to understand, I am not Sudeep Bhargava. My name is Sudeep Bhargava. And Sudeep Bhargava will say, I have so many duties. Yes, we have so many duties with our family, our children. But our primary duty is greater than all these earthly duties. And if we want to take our enlightenment and we want to rise above, it is not easy. If I told you it is very easy, then I will be lying to you. It is not very easy, but it is not so difficult for a seeker who is following magic. If you have got the mumukshutva, and mumukshutva is a very important word. Mumukshutva is the deep yearning. Tujhko Prabhu pyar karon. You have the deep yearning for God, deep yearning. And this mumukshutva leads you towards God, towards enlightenment, above from this mundane world. This mundane world, what is this mundane world? If Rumataji must have gone to Delhi and Jaipur, means full of jalebis and pakoras and samosas and dhoklas. And then what happens? We are so caught. We are so caught. And the goal is liberation, to be free. Not many people think enlightenment is tapasya. It is sacrifice. It is penance. It is hurting yourself. No. Look at me. You will find me to be the happiest man in the world. I am actually the happiest man in the world. But nothing makes me dependent on that to be happy. I am happy because I have learned the art of happiness. And this is enlightenment, which I try to make you realize. Hope tomorrow we will continue at 8 with folded hands.